Hey everyone, it's Annie here. It's been a while since I did one of these shoutouts and as well as informing everyone but what's gonna come out on Patreon. So I thought I'd give you all a little update so you know what's currently going on Patreon. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just gonna go into the shoutouts. A lot of things have come up, a lot of things has changed. There's gonna be a lot of huge things I'm going to be uploading tonight. It might even catch you off guard, but hey, stick around and hopefully you enjoy the reactions. But anyway, let's just get into the shout out. So for Patreon number 1, I want to thank is Kendan. Kendan, appreciate you joining the Patreon, as well as Michelle 747, Kaiser Sani, Snookies 13, Crix, think that's how you say it, Loosmal, D Master XD, Pastel, Christopher Wagner, and numerous courting. Again, I apologize, I'm horrible with names. It is what it is. NC, and last but not least, Cody Fox. They appreciate you all for sticking around in the Patreon. So yeah, make sure to look forward to more episodes basically new information of what's gonna come out on Patreon. If you just look over to one corner of the screen, I can't tell. I'll know once I upload it. But if you look at one corner of the screen, you'll know everything of what's coming soon, what's currently going on, and yeah. Hopefully you all have more members later on or sooner than later. But other than that, thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for sticking around. You guys are amazing. You guys are the real ones. And I look forward to seeing more people join this community. Again, I will say this right now. You have a choice of joining the Patreon or not. You don't have to. It's fine. But if you do, look forward to a lot of stuff, as well as new stuff that I'll be adding over here on my YouTube channel. We already have Manga Monday, which is kind of a surprise, and for most people that are on my Patreon, you would know, but yeah. But other than that, thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you guys all in the review. Yeah, see you guys there. Okay, this is cool. Hold up, let's go back. The first part. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna have to say is the outro is the music was amazing. I've forgotten that RWBY does a good job at making outro, but I was kind of puzzled that the lyrics were very limited. It only phrased the only things that were singed were just mainly about the 4 individual characters. RWBY. Forgot the white-haired girl's name. I'm sorry, I'm gonna forget a lot of these names. Yang was RWBY's sister. There's RWBY, white-haired girl, and the black-haired girl who was kind of antisocial and to herself, because considering her position, which like the clan or the people she was affiliated with, which kind of created like a group. It kind of made the group dysfunctional because the white hair. I'm sorry if I don't remember the names. It's been a while, so I apologize for that. But it kind of made their group dynamic become a bit dysfunctional, and it made it to where Blair. Wait, wasn't Blair something like that? It was the girl with the beast with the animal ears, the beast one. Yeah, her name was Blair or Blake. Was it Blake or Blair? Something like that, I feel like. Sorry if I forget. It's been quite a bit, but and wasn't the wait. This is gonna bug me. I have to look it up. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry. Very unprofessional, but I have to find out their names again. I know RWBY's sister's name is Yang, and was it Yuki? No, I think I'm being stupid. Main characters, okay. Wait, Weiss. There you go. Weiss. Oh, I was right. So the Beast girl was named Blake. Sounds more like a guy's name. So yeah. So it kind of created a disposition between Blake and Weiss, something like that. And in the end, I remember it was one of the episodes, and once she figured out that, look, I don't care what you are or who you're affiliated with, the important thing is you're on Team RWBY, and it's all that matters. I don't give a fuck about your past or what you, or how you were, or even the, like, you know, the politics regarding their people and, you know, all that. All she cared about was having her as a friend on Team RWBY. And that's ultimately what settled the dispute, and it was rather short. But it was fine because in the end things worked out for the best. Blake ended up opening herself up more to Weiss as well as everyone else in the group. But Weiss, I feel like, was the one where she really like butt heads with a lot. But after that, it kind of, shifted the momentum between everyone else, becoming from dysfunctional to functional. Like, the one thing I do gotta point out is these lyrics really do focus a lot on the characters, at least some kind of brief insight into who they are. For example, this phrase for RWBY, red like roses fills my dreams and brings me to the place you rest. So, red like roses obviously is referring to RWBY, fills my dreams and brings me to the place. Who is it referring to? Someone at rest. Is it someone that RWBY knew that died or something? Or someone to soon die later on? So that's something that's very vital, I feel like I need to pay attention to. Wise phrase, white as cold and always yearning, burdened by a royal test. Now, I'm assuming, because I will admit, I do remember Weiss being some kind of elitist, being someone that was in a position of higher power or higher authority, or just overall royalty. And because of that, I feel like that played a burden on her because it made her reach certain expectations towards other people. And not just between her and others, but toward herself. That's why early on in RWBY, when she was so bothered when RWBY became the main leader of, well, Team RWBY, she was against it. She wasn't happy with it. She was more or less kind of fighting against it because she thought she was the most deserving to be the leader. But in all actuality, it was also due to the fact that she did not like RWBY. She didn't want nothing to do with RWBY. All she wanted was RWBY to leave her alone, and she goes on her thing. But now she has no choice but to be a part of Team RWBY. But from what I remember later on, she becomes more open. She becomes more helpful, more thoughtful, a bit more into accepting within her place in that in RWBY. So I'm not gonna lie to you, that really does kind of build some kind of solid insight into what her character could become. Not just someone that basically flaunts around their title of royalty, but someone that's a bit more than what's on the surface, but what's underneath. And at the same time, it says she white is cold and always yearning. Yearning for what? For greatness? For power? What is it she yearns for? And white is cold. We do know her power is basically ice. White is basically her color scheme. But what is it? Could it be something else? Could it mean something deeper? You know what I mean? Like, could it be like white is cold? Maybe she's hard. Maybe she goes through a phase where she becomes kind of cold toward others or her companions. Food for thought. Again, I could be overboard and could be completely wrong, but this is just my theories with my current knowledge and overall just basic understanding. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. And Blake's one. Black, the beast descends from shadows. Very basic, honestly. I feel like the phrase kind of speaks for itself. Black, the beast descends from shadows. Now, if you're reading this, and this was way before ever finding out about Blake ever being some kind of beast or a part of a certain clan, which again, I forgot, but if you guys don't mind affiliating me on that, I'd be more than happy to see. And descends from the shadows. Now, I don't know if that saying's like she's someone that comes from the shadows but becomes better as a person. Like, she's a beast that descends from the shadows, so that shows she has some kind of dark nature or a dark past, or she's still currently enveloped within that dark figment or that kind of vague description of what you can give Blake, because Blake is very mysterious while at the same time very secretive. Mysterious and secretive, and it makes you want to learn more about her. But I feel like ever since that little scruffle between her and Wise and how they got back, it's clear that she cares about Wise and she cares about people in her group. But now it may be kind of conflicting when she's put to the test between her people and her group. I feel like that may play a role later on in the series, because even though on the surface and briefly they kind of came to mutual understandings when they went through their little group dysfunction and it kind of rekindled itself back, it's still just a brief moment. We don't know if that's long lasting or if it could play if it's like the calm before the storm kind of thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what my thoughts over on Blake. And then there's Yang. Yellow beauty burns gold. Basically her power. And honestly, I feel like gold is a very good way to kind of, how can I say this, describe her, because she is someone that is how can I say this? She is someone that it is very bright, colorful personality that really shows too. Like, it really shows how much of a colorful, bright, and more energetic personality she is. She's she's one of those characters where it's actually, she is well known of being bright and someone so what's the words I'm looking for? It's like a veteran. They're expected to be someone great and well established from the get-go based on how they were brought up into the story. That's why gold is the best way to symbolize her other than her power. And because you know what they say, like, you won't settle for the gold, you won't settle for the silver, it's all about the gold. So she is regarded as someone of higher up. That's from what I get from that little brief sentence. But yeah, that's what I got mostly from this, based on, I honestly, most of it was basically knowledge from the, it's a good amount of knowledge from the show, while at the same time using the lyrics and having it as something to follow up with. But yeah, overall was a good soundtrack. I really did like it. Pretty dang good, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. Peace.